Welcome to Paving the Way podcast, episode 5. I'm Seth Amoa, a.k.a. Essay. I'm here with Kenny Jean-Louis, a.k.a. KJL. And today we have a very special guest, a professional baller. We're playing ball, since she was a youth, and I feel, she could probably beat Kenny one-on-one. I'm pretty sure about that.
I don't know.
Yes, why not?
I don't know about that.
Miss Jessica Fequiere.
Jessica, merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation. Encore, je vais le redire, je t'ai envoyé un message, je t'ai appelé directement, t'as dit oui, que t'aimais qu'est-ce qu'on faisait, puis merci encore. Jessica, c'est une fille, à ce que je connais bien ton frère, Jay. So, quand j'allais chez Jay.
Shout out Jay.
So, quand j'allais chez Jay, là, je voyais une petite fille, je savais pas c'était qui. Puis après, je suis à Champlain. Là, je vois dans l'équipe de filles recrute une fille, Fequiere, c'est qui, hein? Jay, c'est ta soeur, c'est ton frère. Puis après, c'est là que j'ai vu que tu commençais à ball, tu joues comme Paul Pierce. T'es un peu slow, mais tu get to the point, puis tu score on everybody. So, encore, on va parler un peu de ton histoire. Je pense que ton histoire est formidable. Puis merci encore d'avoir accepté l'invitation.
Yeah, thank you, of course. And thank you so much for having me. Like Kenny said, I love what you guys are doing. I think it's great for basketball in Quebec, especially because you're talking to people from Quebec. And I think it's important for young people, but also older people to know what players like me or others are going through in our basketball journey.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So the first question we always ask is, when did you start playing ball?
Why did you start playing ball?
Okay, why? The same thing. When, why, same thing.
So listen, my story is so different. So younger, little girl, right? I'm like 10 years old. I'm seeing my older brother, Jay, play basketball. And when I was younger, whatever my brother did, I was like, I'm doing it too. Like, I want to be just like my older brother, And I remember I was young and there was a basketball camp. And I really, really, really wanted to go to that camp. And my daddy was like, why do you want to play basketball? I was like, I want to be like my brother. Like, I want to do it, And back then, I used to live in a building with a bunch of kids. And we were always outside playing games, playing soccer, basketball, and everything. And right there, like, I just fell in love with the game. And my dad, younger, didn't want me to play basketball. And my older brother had my back and was like, you know what? If she want to do it, she should do it. And from that day, my brother always had my back, basketball-wise and in life in general. And I don't know, my brother just taught me the game. And from there, I just fell in love with it. And still to this day, like, I don't know what I would do without basketball, honestly. I just love it that much.
Okay. And you say your brother had a big influence on you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So did you choose, I guess, when you play for your high school team?
Yeah.
Saint-Ex?
Yes.
From there, did you know you wanted to play at the next level, or were you just playing for fun? And you're like, I'm gonna just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, exactly. I was just playing for fun, I was having a good time, but at the same time, I'm very competitive. I have 2 brothers. I'm the only girl. I have a bunch of older cousins. So I'm very competitive. So I had that competitive spirit in me too. And basketball gave me the best balance ever. It's fun, but it's also competitive. And yes, at Saint-Ex, I played there for 4 years. My 5th year, I went to play for GG Sport, but no, I didn't know that I wanted to play at the next level, to be honest. I was just playing, and then it happened.
Oh, that's good. And when you play for DG Sport, how was that experience to go from school to Seville? How was that experience?
It was amazing because at Saint-Ex, at the time, we're not that great, right? And I remember I did a summer with Bourassa, Espoir du Québec, and Jen was on that team, and she was playing for GG Sport. It was like, Jess, you should come to the tryout. Like, come on, let's go. It's going to be fun. The girls were amazing. So I was like, you know what? Why not? I went there. I made the team. I was playing with Jen, Anne, Kathleen Bélanger, and a bunch of other girls that I ended up playing with too at Champlain. And that experience was just amazing. I remember our practice would be 3 hours, 9 to 12. And we would stay in the gym until like 2, until Maurice would be like, girls, like, you need to go home. Like, you need to go home. Like, I love the fact that you guys want to stay and play basketball, but it's time to go. And we just had the chemistry on that team was just amazing. It was insane. Like those girls were my sisters. Like till this day, we still talk and, think about our days at DJ Sport. DJ Sport was just a really, really good experience for me overall, everything.
And I know a lot of people talk highly of Moise. Can you talk a little bit about how he impact your basketball career and your life in general?
Yeah, Moise is like one of a kind. Like Moise is the coach you want. He's going to be tough on you. Like tough love is Moise, Moise is the type of coach you're going to practice, and after practice, you don't want to see his face, like practice was so hard, so tough. But at the same time, he's like a father figure. So you just love him. And he's going to teach you more than basketball. Like he teach you values, like life lessons. And Moise sacrificed so much for us. Like I said, practice would end at 12 and at 2 would still be in the gym. Some of us didn't have rights to go home, and he would drive us home,
Okay.
He thought, yes, Moise did a lot of sacrifices for us. Like we had tournaments in Toronto. He would drive us up there, He probably spent a lot of his own money just for us. So Moise definitely impacted my basketball career, my life. Till this day, I still talk to him, It's just like a great person to be around. Amazing coach, amazing person.
So,
and amazing father too.
That's respect to Maurice, for real.
Yes.
There's a lot of coaches out there that could, I guess, they don't know how much they impact the player, until, later when the player comes out and says it. So for real, like a big shout out to Maurice. And
yes, definitely.
Yeah. And I want to know, so while you're playing at DJ Sports, and I guess you kind of had an idea that you could play the next level, what made you decide to, how did you work in your practices, I guess, on your own time? Like what extra things did you do to get better each year to be ready to play at the next level?
To play at Champlain after?
Yeah.
So listen, for me, it was way different. So I went to DJ Sport, right? I worked really hard, made the team. Every single player on that team was good.
Yeah.
Everyone was working hard. We just all had that competitive fire. We're all very competitive. And I remember towards the end of the year, everybody on my team, every senior, if I can say it that way, got recruited to go to Champlain. And I was the one who didn't get recruited until that last game,
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, you know what? I do want to go play at the next level. I do want to go play at the CJEP level. Like, what do I have to do? And my older brother, like, it would be like, Jess, come on, we're going to the gym. Or stay here with me. You need to do that in the game. Like, do what you're good at, but that someone else doesn't have,
Right.
And that's how coaches are going to notice you. Like, you just be a workhorse, just work hard, Those things don't go unnoticed. You have a bunch of scorers. You don't need to score 20 points, Do stuff that other players are not doing, and you're going to get the attention of the coaches. So after that, I got recruited to go to Champlain, like at the very, very last day. And funny story, right? Because I didn't get recruited. My dad was still not 100% with that basketball thing. Was like, just like you need to send your admission, that admission papers, whatever. Yeah, to a CJEP, like Montmorency is right there. Like you live in Laval, that's a great place. Let's go. And I had that admission set up online, everything. And I was like, you know what? Like, no, like I'm not sending it just yet. Like I was waiting to the very last day. And that last day, Michel, who's an assistant coach at Champlain, was also around our team a lot. And that very last game, he told me like, hey, Jess, like, do you want to come to Champlain? I didn't care if it was in English, French, Chinese. I was like, yes, I'm coming, like I didn't care. It was 2-hour drive. Like I'm coming,
Which I find a little bit crazy that how did you still keep that motivation, even though everyone on your team is recruited except you? How did you still were like, okay, no, I'm gonna get recruited. I want to go to Champlain. How do you still keep that? Because a lot of players would have just been like, wow, gave up, and
For me, like giving up is just not me. Like it's not in my DNA. Like I wanted that bad. Like I really, 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 really wanted it. And I'm a firm believer that hard work always pays off. So one way or another, like something was gonna happen. And if I didn't get recruited, my plan was like, you know what? That last day, I'm going to send my admission papers to Montmorency, and I'm going to go to the open trial. I have a summer to like work on my game. Like something's going to happen, like in my head, I don't know. I just had that feeling. I was like, you just need to work hard, I
So,
don't know. I just kept going.
so you only got recruited by Champlain
By
in your last
Champlain
game?
only.
Only Champlain.
Last game. I'm telling you, last game before I had to submit my papers to university. Like that was the last day that they were like, "Just do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, come on, I'm going." Like you don't need to tell me like anything else because all of my teammates were going there, so I knew it was a good program from Maurice, from the girls. I was always hearing from it, and yeah, that was the only school. Respect
And
to George and Michelle. I love them too.
and I was the summer, like I was the summer to go to Champlain the summer and then training camp. Can you talk a little bit about your mindset since you just said that you basically got recruited at the last minute? What was your mindset?
My mindset was like, okay, now I have one foot in the door. I just need to, work a little bit harder, like I said, we had Jen Mathurin, she's a big player in Quebec. And we had a lot of great players. We had Kathleen Bélanger. So I was like, you know what, you're just going to have to go there and work hard. And the summer was tough, yes, at that level at the time. But I don't know, I just had like motivation, like inside of me. I don't know, I just felt like something good was going to come out of this, like I had two great coaches in George and Michelle. And Michelle is like the one-on-one type of individual coach, whereas George is like the X's and O's, right? And Michelle, every time I would ask him like, hey, can we get an extra shot or do this or do that? He never not one time said no, like he was always available to like get us better. So preseason was hard, was tough, but George and Michelle made sure that we would be ready to compete at Champlain, And it's kind of hard because, when you come from Civil and then you go play in CJEP, it's different.
Yeah.
At DJ Sport, we're just like, let's go, we're going in, like, like we're beasts or whatever. But at the CJEP level, there's more structure and you have to understand your role on the team and everything.
Yeah, so I want to know what since Champlain got recruited by a lot of the players that you played with, and you go in there, what were some of the challenges you have to go through in practice, or just the different, like knowing that, oh man, I'm not gonna play right away, but I need to like what was going through, like what were you doing
during practice? I mean, it was tough at times because, like you said, like I knew I wasn't the star player, but at the same time, like I didn't look at it like, oh, I'm not the star player or I'm not gonna play. In my head, I was just like, I'm gonna have to earn those minutes, and I'm gonna show the coach that I deserve to be on that court. So I'm a really good offensive rebounder for my size. I'm only 5'10", 5'11" with shoes. So I'm a good offensive rebounder. So I was like, every time the shot is going up, I'm going for the rebound. Like every time we have the ball, I'm sprinting in transition. I would do those little things. And I mean, I don't know, one coach doesn't like someone who doesn't rebound, I was like, no, I'm gonna get those rebounds, and I was just focusing on one thing. I wasn't throwing like 100 things. I was not, I'm gonna score 20 points. Nah, I was like, we have people who can score right now. Like my time is gonna come for that. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on what I can do to better the team.
Est-ce qu'il y a un moment, ça soit en pratique ou peut-être à une game, que Georges puis Michel t'a laissé, comme ils t'ont fait confiance, puis t'as vraiment seize the moment. T'as vraiment, comme je sais pas si t'as marqué 5 points puis tu t'es dit, OK, maintenant, je suis bonne. Ou est-ce qu'il y a une pratique, t'as block Jen, puis tu t'es dit, tu sais quoi, j'ai block Jen qui est vraiment bonne. OK, maintenant, je suis bonne. Est-ce qu'il y a un moment que tu t'es dit, OK, I belong here?
En fait, c'était pas en pratique. C'était plus, je faisais du one-on-one avec Michel. Puis il a dit, Jess, si tu fais ça, you're gonna play. Like, there's no way you're not playing. You need to crash the board like this every single time. And when you're open for the shot, you need to take it every single time and knock it down, And he gave me pointers. And he was just like, Jess, this is your year. Like, every time during the summer when I would work out with Michel, he would tell me, like, nobody recruited you, just like only Champlain recruited you. Like you have something to prove, not to people, but to yourself, that you belong in this league, So for me, it was not necessarily practice or games, but it was Michel giving me that confidence and telling me like, you belong here, you deserve this. And you need to show all the other coaches who didn't even pay attention to you that, hey, you're here, So that was my moment, definitely.
Okay. I want to know, so you're at Champlain. How many years were you there for?
3 years.
3 years. Each year, what were the differences between each year until your last year, which we're going to talk about your last year more. But we're like, how did you get better each year? I know obviously practicing and all that, but a lot of it has to do with mental, right? The mental aspect of playing. What did you do, or what did your players help you with? Your friends outside, like to get you ready each year to go into your, I guess, your third year.
Yeah. So my first year wasn't successful at all. Like it was just bad. And
Why was it bad? Why was it bad?
So French is my first language.
Yeah.
I know nothing about English. Yeah, we learn English at school, but you all know, Yeah. So I go to Champlain, like everything is in English. I don't know, like I've never done one class in English, like completely English.
Okay.
And my first semester was just a fluke. Like I failed classes. It was just bad. So I couldn't play the second semester, right? So I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. I need to get better. And I mean, I'm a good student. I don't know. That year was just like, I feel like I wasn't ready. Like I thought I was ready, but clearly I was not ready. Mm-hmm. And then this summer, before my second year, like I said, I was always work out with Michelle during the summer and George. So that got me ready for the second year. And then the second year, I had a good second year, actually. And then before my third year, I did the same thing. I was like, it worked for 1 year, let me do it again. So I did the same thing in preseason with Jordan, Michelle. We work harder. And the third year, my role was more important. Like now I had to score and rebound. I was a big piece of that team, So year after year, my role was bigger on the team. And over the summer, I would get ready to fulfill that role.
That's good. Just quick question. Can you give advice to a young girl or not young guy who's maybe planning on going or thinking of going to an English school and is French? Do you have advice for them, like how to prepare to go to an English program?
Yeah, so a lot of people say when they come from a French institution and they transition to the English, sometimes they're scared of that transition. So they say like, oh no, I'm not going to go. But for me, it was important to get out of my comfort zone, like to try something new. And maybe I wasn't going to be successful right away, but I was like, look at the positive side. Like I get to learn another language at school and I get to live another experience, like you literally get out of your comfort zone. Like at Champlain, my classes were in English like 100% of the time, And for me, the best advice is don't be scared. Like, why not? Why not, go to an English institution and, learn another language, like do something better, get out of your comfort zone. And I think it's very important to get out of your comfort zone to see what you're able to do, Yeah,
I agree with that. When you're in your last year, oh wait, before I said that, you said it very well said, by the way. I like what you just said right now. It's really good. Yeah. So whoever's listening, get out your comfort zone, because that is something really real. Anyways, yeah. So when you're in Champlain, now the next step, what's going through your mind like for the next year? Did you have an idea of what you're gonna do? Or walk us through it.
To go play D1?
Yeah, D1, yeah. Or my thing is that to play D1, and why didn't you stay here? Why didn't you play at the U Sports or CIS? So why didn't you at that time play here? Why did you choose D1? What was going through?
Yeah. So I didn't know that I wanted to go play D1 until my third year, And over the summer before the third year, we have like a travel team with Champlain, and a bunch of coaches would be there, typical AAU tournament. And we're getting recruited. And I was like, you know what? Like D1 sounds fun. Like I want to try it. I don't want to stay in Quebec. Like I didn't really care about like staying in Quebec. I mean, if that was the plan for me, I would just, stay here. But I really, really wanted to cross the border and have a completely different experience. And, like when you watch those movies about like, universities in the States, and I was like, I want to try this, why not? And I get a scholarship. And like I said, my dad, even at Champlain, was not 100% with that basketball thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, like basketball can be a mean to an end. Like I can use basketball to get an education, like, and you don't have to pay nothing for it. Like why would you not like me to do it, you know? And yeah, like for me, like was probably the best decision of my life going to U Albany.
Yeah.
C'était quoi les autres écoles qui te recrutaient? Les autres écoles qui te recrutaient, c'était qui?
J'avais Siena qui avait aussi recruté Kim. J'avais d'autres mid-major, là, je me rappelle pas du top of my head, mais Albany a vraiment caught my attention, you know?
Kim, it's a girl who played at Champlain, like.
Yeah, Kim Lissus-Côté, she played at Champlain.
Okay.
Before me. I played with her 1 year.
Okay, so why didn't you choose? Okay, yeah, you didn't want to stay in Quebec, but you could have went anywhere else in Canada, I guess, to OUA or.
She wanted a free scholarship. and Canada is like 50, 70, 80, 100 under the table. but in the States is 100. So
yeah, like I had a bunch of offers from a lot of teams in Canada in general, but my mind was like, no, like you're going D1, like this is your goal and I'm going to do it, you know, like if I have a goal in mind, like you're not going to stop me, like that's my goal, like I want to do it, like I want to have this experience. And you know what, if I don't like it, I can always come back. That's not a problem. That is true. But if I'm in Quebec, can I go D1? Like this is a harder transition, you know?
Yeah.
And you were not far also, so your parents and family could come see you. We're not far.
Yeah, that was definitely one reason why I chose U Albany, because it's only 3.5 hours away. So it was easy for my family to come, me to go. Me to go, that was harder, but you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to, so at University of Albany, when you went there, how was that experience your first year?
Whew. So, D1 is hard.
Before we get into that.
Yeah.
Okay, going from CJEP to D1, so that's summer. What did you do to prepare yourself to go D1? Because it's a whole different game.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I would still work out with Michelle and George, you know, but usually D1, the summer before your freshman year, we had a 4-week session. So during 4 weeks, you have 2 classes and basketball workouts. But the coaches are only allowed to have you in the gym for 4 hours a week. You know, so we would do individual workouts, position by position. And after that, it's all like conditioning, running, lifting. You know, like this thing is hard. And going to a university in the States, you're not used to lifting that much in CJEP. You're not used to running that much in CJEP. And now you have to balance 2 summer classes at the collegiate level classes and summer workouts. And that was tough because I wasn't used to doing that. So that was a good way to prepare to go to, you know, the first semester. But going there, like, in my life, like I can't count on 3 fingers how many times I've cried before I went to U Albany, you know, and I got there and I was like, wow. And when I came back after that summer, I told my mom, like, I'm not sure I want to go back. I'm not sure I want to go back because the coaches were like, if you think the summer was hard, wait till you come back in August. And I was like, how hard can this get, you know?
So how was it? So what did you do your first year? How was your first year?
So my first year, I'm a freshman and there's like 5 of us. We're a really, really young team. We only had 1 senior my freshman year and 5 freshmen. So obviously it was a lot of teaching and, but the coaches were very tough. Like our coaches would never lower their standards for anyone, you know. She didn't care if you're first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year even. Like everyone was on the same level. And my first year was tough because I had to balance school and basketball. And I didn't have, you know, my home to go to. I had a dorm with my teammates. So it was definitely a big transition living on campus and being a student athlete because you're a student first and an athlete second. And I feel like we forget that. And so it's a lot of effort to put in school, but also in basketball. You have to excel at both. and you cannot just be like 50-50. It has to be 100-100, you know? So that was very tough.
Do you have any advice again for how to balance school and basketball while competing D1 or
a lot of people forget that student athlete stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my coaches were very big on that student part, you know, because as a freshman, like your first year, you don't really know how to jungle everything. But we had academic advisors. They would set up our schedule. And as a freshman at Albany, at least, you need to do 8 study hall hours from Monday to Friday. So you have to fit in your hours. We had like a study hall room. So you had to, you know, log in and log out every single time, and they would calculate your hours. So they knew that during those 8 hours, like, you would get work done. And yeah, it was hard, but for me, it got easier as I went, because I would always use my agenda, and I would be like, okay, this is my free block. I'm going to get 2 hours of study on here. I'm going to get that paper done. I'm going to do this, and that, you know. I would always use my agenda or a plan or something to make sure I was on top of things.
Okay. So after your first year, so you got your second year, and like, what changed between your first and second year?
Well, my second year, I knew what to expect now, you know, like, I was like, okay, we have this to run, we have that to do. I have to pass the mouth test. I have to pass this. I have to get my work done. And I was just more comfortable just because I knew exactly what to do. But the team was exactly the same. We just had some freshmen come and one senior graduate.
Okay.
So at that point, I mean, I wasn't playing a lot my freshman year, but I wasn't playing a lot my sophomore year either. You know, so I was like, damn, that's tough. You know, like, it's a lot of work. Like, we literally work from the end of the year till the summer again. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as your season is over, you have 2 weeks off, and then postseason, and then you start again, you know? So I was like, dang, I'm working this hard and I'm not playing that much. Like, you know, it's hard mentally. It's like, wow, like, what do I have to do, you know? So it was very hard mentally. But again, like, I kept the mentality of, you know, hard work always pays off. Like, it's going to pay off. Something's going to happen, you know? There's no way you can work that hard and nothing's going to happen. That was my mentality.
So during the summer, you only had 2 weeks to see your family?
No. So right after this, there's March Madness, right? And April, it's like over. So as soon as your team is done playing, you have 2 weeks off.
Okay.
As soon as the 2 weeks is over, like, you're still in school and everything, you have postseason. So you're still at school for like a month. And then at Albany, what the coaches did that I really liked, we went right after the semester was over, we went home for 4 weeks. I went back to my family, and then I came back for another 4 weeks. I went back to Albany for 4 weeks for summer school. And as soon as summer school was over, I went back to Albany to start my semester. So I had like 2 months home, but like, it was like divided.
Okay. And I know your junior year, you say you got injured.
Yeah.
What happened?
So my junior year, so I was working really hard during the summer. The coaches were giving me workouts. They were like, "Just, this is your year. Like, let's go. You got this, you know?" And during the summer, like, when I'm here, I always go to do like a full body checkup just to make sure before I go home, you know?
Yeah.
Like, normal medical tests. And I did an x-ray for my feet, and the doctors saw that I had a fracture. And they were like, you know, you might need surgery. I was like, what you mean? Like, I'm still running. I'm still doing all my stuff. Like, I don't believe you. Like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
And they put me in like a temporary cast. And they were like, well, you're going to have to get that surgery. So as soon as I got that news, I told my coaches and my athletic trainer, and they're like, you know what? You're going to get a second opinion as soon as you go back to Albany. So that was like a week after I went back to Albany, got the x-ray, and it was a fracture. And I don't know if you guys remember Kevin Durant's first injury, that foot injury, the Jones fracture. Yeah. That's exactly what I had.
Oh.
You know, yeah, it's a tough injury.
Wow. How long you were out for?
So I decided to redshirt because even if I went through or didn't went through the surgery, I could have choose to not have the surgery done. But there would be a chance that it would not heal properly. So I just got the surgery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't walk on your feet by yourself for like 11 to 12 weeks.
Damn.
And then, yeah, it's a long time. And I started running, like jogging, running in December, starting practicing without contact, like the end of January, and practicing with contact mid-February. So like, my coaches came to me and asked me, do you want to redshirt? Do you want to play? And I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to redshirt.
Yeah, smart decision.
And I was like, I'm just going to get my master's. Mine as well.
Hey, okay.
Hey, master in what? Master in what?
So I did my master's in organizational communication and with a certificate in public sector management.
So look at that. Look
it was worth it, I guess. But honestly, my injury was a blessing in disguise. Like I'm so grateful that I went through. Like it might sound crazy, but I'm just so grateful. Like I'm just grateful for this whole year. Like he taught me a lot.
Yeah. So then after your injury, so after your injury, that's, I guess you came back and you
exploded.
So how? Yeah.
And you were also the captain. I saw the last 2 years you were the captain.
Yeah.
How you go from red shirt to captain?
Not playing much, red shirt. Yeah, how? Yeah.
So I had really, really good leaders, right? And at the time I was a red shirt. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to show up to the game and sit on the bench. Like, what's my role? And the coach were like, just like, this year is going to be an important year for you. And man, I'm like, what you talking about? Like, I'm injured. Like, there's nothing I can do. Like, I'm just going to cheer on my teammates on the sideline and that's about it. But no, they decided that I would sit right beside them during the game. So they would give me like pads and stuff like that. And hey, Jess, you have to write this down. Make sure you do this and that. And during the game, they would give me pointers, So like I was like a coach and they would tell me like, Jess, what do you see? And sometimes my own teammate would come to me and be like, Jess, you need to look that for me. Like, what do I do in this situation? Or what is open, what is not open? So I was able to give feedback, but also watch the game from a different perspective, So that really helped me. And when it was my time to step up and be a leader, I was like, I'm ready, like I've been sitting beside the coaches for like a whole year. During practice, I was the one cheering on my teammates, giving them feedback. Like I was ready to take on this role. And yeah, for me, being a leader just came naturally, if I can say it this way. I don't know. I like to lead. I like to be I like to be a vocal leader. I like to lead by example. So for me, it was just like,
Yeah, that just came easy.
And on the court, you were doubling, like on the court, your last 2 years, what you were double? I'm not sure. Like, but I know you were grabbing a lot of rebound, and I think your team was leading the conference in blocks, stuff like that. That's what I...
Yeah. So my last 2 years, I really blew some, if I can say it this way. Like, as soon after my injury, as soon as I was able to practice with contact, I don't know, it was just a different beast. I was like, nah, like, I'm not taking this anymore. Like, I'm not sitting on this bench anymore. Like I'm working I was working way too hard. Like, I was always in that gym, no matter what, before game, after game, like the day before the game, the morning of the game. Like, I was like, like, there's no way, like, I'm not taking this anymore. And I remember, like, when I was injured, my older brother sent me that quote, and it said, until you're broken, you don't know what you're made of. It gives you the ability to build yourself all over again, but stronger than ever. And I was like, you know what? Like, yes. And I wrote that and I put it beside my bed and I put another one in my locker. And every day I was like, nah, they don't know Jessica Fequiere. Like, I'm coming. Like, like, this is my, like, I'm coming. Like, I need, like, I'm working way too hard. Like, I am playing. And mentally, I was just like on another level. I think that was the difference. Like, I didn't accept anything. I was just going for it, And I feel like that's why my last 2 years were so good on the court, because my mental state was just on another level. I was not ready to accept anything less, because I was like, why am I working this hard if I'm not gonna, showcase that during the game?
Okay. Who was your biggest rival, like team-wise?
In conference, we had So the first year was like no, it was always Maine. Maine was always like the team that I don't know, there was like an instant rivalry. Like they didn't like us, we didn't like them. Like when we played them, it was just like a fight, dog fight. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And what you think was your best game in your career, best game in your career, like at Albany?
At Albany? Well, I guess it was my career high. So it was against Maine. It was against Maine, yeah. And we have trouble, we have trouble winning at their place. Oh. And I remember the year before we won our conference championship, right? And that year we lost to them at their place. And then my 5th year, when they came to our place, I was like, nah. Like, I still remember that game, you know? And I was like, nah, like, we're winning. And I had my career high that game. And that was probably my best game, yeah.
How much you have?
Yeah, much.
What do you think?
Let's see.
I would say 32.
Yeah, I was thinking 32 too also. I don't know why.
Nah.
What, 40?
No. No, 35.
Oh, yo.
35. Okay,
yo,
that's
35.
Good.
35
like,
and what?
I think I missed 1-3 that game.
Oh.
I was like, nah, like, no, I'm a different beast. Like, they're not winning that one.
35 and what? Like, how many rebounds? Like 12?
No, I didn't have a double, but I think I was close enough. I think I had like 8 or 9. Jeez. 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you guys won your conference. You won a conference.
My first 4 year, my 5th year, we lost. Yep.
First 4 years, and how was that? Think about it. You went from Saint-Ex and DJ Sports to winning a Division I conference. How was that? That's a little. That for sure had to be exciting.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like, I can't even describe the feeling. It's just like, wow, like the hard work finally pays off. Because like I said, like as soon as postseason hit, you're working for that next season, you know? So I was like, wow, like those are months and months and years of working hard, you know, for this, for that moment. And as soon as you win your conference, you get a bid to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So as soon as you step foot on that court, you're just like, wow. Like you're just mesmerized, you know, like, wow.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, I was that.
March Madness, yeah.
Ooh, March Madness is amazing. So my third year, so my second year we lost. My second year we lost to Duke, and we were winning with a few seconds left. A girl hit a like crazy 3, and we lost.
March Madness.
Yeah, March Madness. In my third year.
When you guys play against Duke, where you were ranked and where Duke was ranked that year?
So I think they were like a 2nd seed.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not. I think we're like 14. I'm not even sure. I think we're 15 or 14. Yeah, but I remember like my third year, we played Florida. They were a 5th seed and we're a 12th seed. And I remember my coach said, you know, those are the upsets. Like 5 against 12, there's always an upset. Like this is our year, and we won. And that was the year that I redshirted, and I like jump on the court like there was no tomorrow. Like it's just amazing because even though I was redshirting, like I was part of this team. Like I was making my teammates better during practice, you know. So like there was just a sense of accomplishment, and I was just like very excited. It was just I can't even describe the feeling. Like you have to live it to understand it.
And on top of that, you didn't play, and you still felt that excitement.
Yeah, of course.
That's real. That's real for real. After your 5 years, you know, you had a very successful career at Albany. How did you decide to go play pro after, or why did you decide to go play pro? Yeah.
So once again, I didn't know.
I
didn't know. I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can't, like, after 5 years of college, your body is so broken.
Yeah.
You ask yourself, like, can I do it? Like, can I do more? You know, and I remember I talked to a lady at Albany, Winsome, amazing woman. And she asked me if I wanted to play overseas. And I was like, I don't know if my body can take it, you know, like that's a lot. And she was like, you know, just like, I was a runner and I hit my best mark when I was 32 years old. So you need to try it. If you don't like it, at least you try it. But if you don't try it, and in 10 years, you're going to say like, oh, I should have, I could have, you know? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it. And after your season, there's a bunch of agents who contact you and stuff. And I was like, why not? I'm just going to go. And after 1 year, if I don't like it, I'm just going to come back.
Yeah, nothing to lose, yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't ready to stop playing basketball. Like,
Okay.
I wasn't ready. Like, I was like, no, like, it's not over. I still have more, you know?
Okay.
So you decide to go to Spain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why Spain, and was the experience in Spain? But you're still playing, but how was those 2 years in Spain?
Yeah, so my agent is Spanish, so it was easier to get a contract in Spain. But I also wanted to go to Spain because two of my former teammates actually played in Spain. And I heard a lot of good things. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try Spain. And Spain is amazing. I love it. I mean, my life is to play basketball and go back home and explore and visit and, you know. So Spain is just amazing. My first year was amazing. We had a great, great year. Made it to the playoff. Lost on a buzzer beater 3, but it was still a great year. My second year was tougher, you know, and especially that with the situation right now, our season got cut short. So, I mean, Spain is amazing. I love playing still. So,
Are you planning on going back to Spain, or you have a couple options for next year? Like, what's the plan?
Yeah, so I just signed a really exciting contract in Spain, but I cannot tell you because I cannot tell you yet because the team hasn't released a statement yet.
Okay.
But yeah, as soon as I can say it, I will say.
Really?
But it's
Congrats.
an exciting.
Congrats.
Man.
Yeah, thank
And
you. Hopefully
you,
it happens. You know.
No, it will.
Yeah, thank you. Being positive.
And I know you're gonna play for the next maybe 5-10 years, who knows? But 15 years maybe.
I do want to start a family, you know.
but what are your plans? Like, you got your master degree. Like, what are your plans after basketball?
So after basketball, so like I said, I have my master's, and my last year I actually did an internship with media relation and communication with the athletic department, and I really like that experience. So I hope that I can do something along those lines. But I also want to give back to the basketball community and maybe inspire little girl who was just like me, like didn't get recruited to
For sure.
basically nowhere
Yeah.
to, playing overseas right now and living her best life. So hopefully I can inspire someone.
And
so I definitely want to give back to the community.
And like I said, it's maybe like in 5-10 years, but are you planning on going back to Montreal or in the States? Like, or you don't know?
To live? Oh, no, I'm staying in Montreal. I'm staying in Canada. What?
What? No,
what? I'm a big family person. I want to be around my family, but you never know. I go and I live day by day. So we'll see. But right now I want to go back. I want to come back to Montreal when everything is said and done.
Okay. So right now, what are you doing during this time that we're going through to stay, active and stay in shape or keep basketball?
Yeah, so my plan, like I said, is to go back to Spain. So I work out in the morning like I do. I want to get better at my ball handling and mid-range. So I work out with my younger brother outside in the morning, do some conditioning, some ball handling, some shooting. And in the afternoon, I do some workout. I have Sheila. You remember Sheila from Champlain?
Yes.
Sheila
I saw you work out with her this morning.
Shout out to Sheila.
Yeah, shout out to Sheila. So she made a program just for me, So I work out every day. So that's amazing.
Okay.
So I'm staying in shape, getting ready for next year, I'm staying positive for next season, I mean.
Okay. I want to know some. I want to play a little game with you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Start, bench, or cut.
Oh,
okay.
I don't like that game.
No. Okay. Yeah. So one of them is winning your 4 years at Albany. Okay. The other one is getting, I guess, I don't know if maybe getting recruited to Champlain because how badly you want it to go.
Yeah.
Getting recruited to Champlain. And the last one I would say is being able to play pro.
Oh, that's a tough one. Is that even fair?
You got to start, bench, and cut one. Yeah. So.
Oh, dang. Wow.
She's like, ah.
Everyone answered, so you have to answer.
Yeah, obviously I'm going to answer. Don't worry. I would probably start my 4 years at Albany.
Yeah.
it was winning, but it was also like a defining moment. Like I really grew as a woman and as a basketball player, like, you know? Oof.
Cut. Down.
Cut playing overseas. I mean, that's the dream, you know?
That's true. Yeah, okay. And you'd bench.
And bench Champlain.
Champlain? Okay, so Champlain, that was, okay, that's real.
And we also ask your top 5, like from PG to center, best player that you play with.
That I played with?
Yeah.
Any level, anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
So point guard, I would have to go with BJ, Brianna Jackson. Okay. I played with her overseas in my first year. She played at Louisville. She's an insane point guard, like crazy handles. Like, honestly, like I didn't have to do much to score. Like she would get me open, you know.
I've seen some highlights of her on Instagram.
Yeah, she probably had like crossed someone up and like did something crazy.
That's
her. Yeah, she's amazing, great person, great basketball player. 2 guard, I would have to go with my Albany teammate, Imani Tate. She's like me. She's just competitive, you know. Like when me and her played against each other in practice, it was like a dogfight. Like she hated to lose. I absolutely hate to lose, you know. I hate to lose more than I like to win. Like I don't like to lose, and she's the same. But together, we play so good together. So definitely her. My 3 guard, I like big 3 guards. So I would go with Jen Maturin. You know, she likes to spot up in 3.
Yeah.
So I have to go with my Montreal girl. 4 player. I would go also with my Albany teammate, Sharisha Richard. She's the all-time leading scorer, man or woman at Albany. Oh. She's like a walking double, walking bucket, like 25 points a night, you know, type of player. Like people would triple team her.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And my 5. Can I give 2? 5?
No.
Just 1?
Yeah,
and also you can put yourself, right? You can put yourself.
Kenny, you should have said that before I got to the 5 position. Okay. I don't play no 5.
No, but the thing is, you can put yourself at the 3 and put Jen at the 4. That's what I thought. That's what I was thinking. But
yeah, I want that. I like that. I would put myself at the 3 and then Jen at the 4. Yeah, that would be my best 5.
Okay.
You're gonna say that at the end. I'm down to the 5 position. Of course, I'm gonna put myself in.
Oh man. So yeah, Jessica, for real, like, you know, I appreciate you being here today with us. I really do. You know, hearing your story, especially going from, you know, didn't know if you're gonna play ball to now playing pro, and you know, going to your 3rd year playing pro. And you don't hear a lot of stories of a lot of people continuing to play basketball, especially they don't know every year, like, oh, am I going to still play? A lot of them just give up, you know? Mm-hmm. And, you know, for you just keep going, for real, it's a really nice story to hear. And I appreciate your time coming here with us, talking to us, for real.
Merci. Merci d'avoir accepté l'invitation. Comme je t'ai dit, je t'ai envoyé un message texte, à directement dit oui, puis on a parlé pendant 45 minutes, puis c'est sûr, il y a une petite fille de Saint-Léonard, une petite fille de Montréal-Nord qui va dire si Jessica a réussi, puis Jen aussi a réussi, je peux aussi, tu vois, dire. So, merci encore d'avoir raconté ton histoire sur notre plateforme et tout. Merci encore.
Definitely, and that's the goal, right? I do hope that I'm going to inspire someone, because I know, like, sometimes I see that little girl at the end of the bench, and I'm like, hey, that was me. Like, if I can do it, like, you can do it and 10 times better. Like, I hope you can do it like 20 times better even, you know? So I hope that I do inspire someone. And again, like, thank you so much for what you guys are doing with this podcast. I think it's an amazing thing. I wish at a young age or whatever, when I was younger, I had this to listen to, and hopefully maybe someone is going to listen to it today and, you know, be grateful for this.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. And to our listeners, don't forget to subscribe on all platforms. Once again, I'm Seth Amoa, a.k.a. SA.
I'm Kenny, a.k.a. KJL, a.k.a. Freaky.
Oh, God. Okay, and yeah, stay tuned for episode 6.